close to the ledge. We gon' push you forward a few steps ahead. It's the edge life. Oh, oh, gotta get it in your head. Welcome to the edge life.
Yes, y'all. Listen, we have made it. We have made another Sunday Fun Day. Welcome, everybody, to the Edge Live 7 podcast. You know exactly what it is, Phillip Edge.
And Carrie Edge.
Man, and we are super, super excited and delighted to see you all on today. Look, we got something super special for y'all today. Like literally, it's going to be one of those... It's gonna be one of those type of days, baby. It's gonna be one of those type of days, baby. What is going on with you, with your fine self?
You
looking
all
good.
What we're gonna talk about, like first?
Well, I guess we can tell them what we talking about.
YouTube wants us to tell them in the beginning.
Okay. Well, what are we talking about tonight, baby? What are we talking about? You gonna tell them?
You can tell them.
We are talking about 5 things every couple needs to know. 5 things, not one thing, not 2 things, not 3 things, not 4 things, but 5 things that every couple needs to know. So check this out. If you are in a relationship right now, if you are married right now,
or you plan on,
you already know, or you plan on it, or you plan on
trying to prepare when you're already there. It's too late for that.
That's right.
John Wooden said something like that.
I'm trying to tell you, listen, we got 5 things that we are going to share with you today that I promise you will make your relationship super, super smooth. Y'all heard that, right? Super smooth. You just have to apply it crispy, right? And put it into practice. If you do that, if you do it, it will be all good. Let me just say this, by the way. If you are tuning in with us tonight, do me a favor real quick. Go ahead and share this out on your social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you are, wherever you're watching this. Go ahead and check it out right now. Share it out right now. Somebody might need this. There might be somebody who is in a relationship who is like, you know what, I don't even know. I don't even know.
Thinking about it.
That's right. And they don't know what to do.
That's everybody. Like, legit. That's everybody.
It should be everybody, right?
Yeah.
It should be everybody. So we need to make sure that you share this out tonight because it's going to be good.
And these principles some of them are applicable to, folks that aren't in a married relationship. So, relationship skills are important things to have.
You got to know.
Like, because we are in this world with other people.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Sometimes,
Hey. Listen. If you don't know these things, sometimes things can get challenging and tough. So, baby, we want to know who we talking to, right?
Yeah, a shout out to Nate Perez.
My man, Nate Perez. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Nate?
Nate, can you do me a favor and send me some tips as to how I can convince my wife to let me get a motorcycle?
Okay, so let me tell you about the motorcycle situation. This man, when we planted our first church, we had this young man by the name of Patrick Dupree. Shout out to the Duprees. If you all happen to be watching this, or Patrick Dupree. So he had a motorcycle for a minute. And there was a reason why it was for a minute. But anyways, he had a motorcycle. And Pastor P over here, as he's fondly referred to by those that attended our church, decided he wanted to ride it. So he got on that thing. And he done took him a little spin around the block.
I did.
And when he got back, y'all, he talked about, nah, I don't want no motorcycle.
That thing was a little powerful for me. It was
and that's exactly what he said. So don't let him.
So let me ask you a question. Like I got this thing right now for the little what's it called? The little
like a Can-Am?
The Polaris slingshot.
Oh, the slingshot.
See, me and Kai, because, I got to bring my man Kai into this, right? So me and Kai, we could literally, drive in this thing together.
And we just need shirts that said Kai and I.
Yeah, Kai and I, we could be in that thing, driving. It could be
He told me he wanted a Can-Am.
Well, yeah, this is the one he wants.
The Spider, or whatever that thing is called.
No. We need a Polaris, the slingshot,
He wanted the big joint with the big wheels.
Well, we can put big wheels on it.
You could.
Nate, do me a favor, man. Give me some tips, man. Help me understand how I can, get this out and, do what I need to do to convince, the powers that be that we definitely need this in our lives.
So as we digress,
we got to.
Definitely let us know that you're here wherever you watching from, listening from, let us know that y'all are here. Nate says LOL, and that's what I say. He not only did he put exclamation points, but he also put question marks.
Nate, what you mean by the question mark, brother?
Absolutely.
I mean, what's going on? What's
the
going on?
bishops are in the house watching on this cold night, so a lot of folks wouldn't think it's cold. But y'all see, I got the boggin on. Yes, it is cold here in the South. I think we woke up at 21 degrees.
Yeah, it was cold.
21 degrees. So
super cold.
It was cold. So welcome to the bishops, Tim and Sierra. So we did a little marriage counseling with Tim and Sierra.
We
so
did.
You
We
know,
did. Super dope
shout
couple.
out to them.
Super dope couple. Super dope
Yeah,
couple.
they're super dope.
Yes. Love them dearly. Love them dearly.
Yes.
So I'm gonna tell you what. It is cold tonight, and since you got the hat is making you look super cute though. I like the hat. I like the hat look. That's making you look real cute. The hat on. Watch yourself.
So
now.
What are you saying? Like the top of my head is a funny looking?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
See, gentlemen, you gotta be careful. Don't ever get sucked into that right there, gentlemen. I'm just letting you know.
How I did that.
Don't ever get sucked into those kind of tricks right there.
Yeah, that was tricky.
So how's your week, babe?
Good week.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good week. It was a cold week.
Yeah.
Good week full of basketball with Zoe.
Yep.
The baby of the crew.
Yep.
Got to spend some time with the ace man,
Mm-hmm.
the for real baby of the crew. But he's like next generation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like the new iPhone.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you got to tell him what the little thing I got Ace. We should have showed it to him.
The talking cactus.
The talking cactus.
It's a talk back cactus.
Listen. I don't know if I got it for Ace or if it's like mine. Cause
I think you got it for yourself. But
that
basically,
thing is so dope.
The little cactus, it like says whatever you say, and then it
does a little dance.
Cactus dance.
Yeah, it does a little cactus dance,
and so
which is super dope.
After it says what it's, or in between, it gives like a little pause before it says what you say, and it it just pauses.
Right.
And so in that time that it pauses, Ace would wave its hands like he was doing the cactus dance.
Yeah.
And then he'd say something else to it. So
listen,
cute, super cute.
I love this cactus.
Yeah, I think it was like $30-something. So if you're looking for a cute gift, I think really any kid would like it. Even a 40-year-old kid.
Look, I like it.
Might like it.
I like it. It's
cool.
dope. It's dope.
I liked making my Elmo voice in it because
yeah,
it's already a high pitch.
It's already a high pitched like voice.
It sounded like I had downed a whole bunch of helium.
Yeah.
So it's a high pitched voice. So.
Well, babe, let's do this because we don't want to belabor them too long.
Tell them how your week was.
The week was awesome. It was good. What did I do this week? Oh my gosh, got a whole lot of stuff that went down. Oh, I will say this. We did finally open up the E network, so we did that. That was a huge thing this week, opening up the E network. I got so excited. Listen, if you are a Christian creative and or entrepreneur and you are looking for a community of people to help you grow, to help you build, to help you do all those kinds of things, you need to make sure you check out the E network. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me let you know what we got going on. Y'all check it out. Check it out. Hey there, I'm Phillip Edge, co-founder of the Edge Network. We created the Edge Network as a way to encourage, support, and develop Christian creatives and entrepreneurs, particularly those who know that there's more in life but feel lost, and in many instances are holding back because they feel that they can't bring their complete self anywhere they go. We do this through discipleship, workshops, coaching, accountability, and our signature 5 cornerstone matrix to keep you aligned. We use lordship, meaning Christ first, relationships where we speak about growing your family, financial stewardship, fellowship, and discipleship. The network is just here to help you navigate through your journey. We have a plan to grow this network to 1,000 Christian creatives and entrepreneurs by the end of 2022. As we embark on this journey, you can support us in 3 ways. Pray that the right people hear the heart and the intent of this network. Number 2, you could share this with those who you know who might fit this demographic of a Christian creative or entrepreneur. We greatly appreciate it. And third and finally, if you feel so compelled, you're a Christian creative, you're a Christian entrepreneur, and you're compelled right now, listen, I want you to subscribe to this growing network of other Christian creatives and entrepreneurs. For the first 100 members, you can join the network for literally less than the cost of a dozen donuts. We're talking $10 a month or $100 for the entire year, with your first 2 weeks being completely free. If you're a Christian creative or entrepreneur and you're looking to connect with like-minded people, we would love to invite you to come, to join the network and get the edge you need. Listen, in this journey, you don't have to do life alone. Welcome to the Edge Network. You do not have to journey alone. Make sure you check out the Edge Network. We got a lot of good stuff going on, and it was created specifically for people just like you. So y'all check it out. Y'all check it out. Y'all check it out. Y'all check it out. So what we got going on tonight, babe? I'm ready. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's roll.
Tonight we're talking about five things every couple needs to know. So wherever you are, make sure you get your notebook out. Make sure you get your notebook out, because this is good stuff, y'all.
If you don't know,
now
soon
you
you'll
know. That's
baby.
right. Yeah. That was kind of like the Biggie-fied something or another, but we did it. Yeah, there was. We always remix it.
Notorious. Absolutely.
All right, well, let's jump into it. 5 things every couple needs to know. The first thing you need to know, especially about relationships, no matter where you are, you got to be amazing friends.
That's right.
You have to be amazing friends. I mean that's the thing. Like, whenever you are in a relationship, it's hard to hate your friend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it is.
If they're really your friend.
Like, hate is a strong word.
It's even hard sometimes.
I'm not gonna always necessarily like somebody.
Right.
But hate is a strong word.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I agree with that. But
and you're not always gonna like your spouse. Like, for real. There's gonna be moments that you have where you really don't like them, and you can get a pass for that as long as you're still loving them, because those are totally different things.
2 different things. Yep.
Yeah, as long as you're not withholding, like, your love from them.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: why do you think friendship is important, especially in couple relationships, marriage relationships? Why is it important to be literally friends with each other?
I think when you're friends, I was actually studying this week about the difference between, like, friendship and, like, therapeutic relationships, like coaching and counseling and all those things, and how those are different. Friendships mean that you have some commonalities and things that align, and that you all are together because you choose to be. It's there is a covenant, but there's no contractual agreement, or at least, these days there are these things called prenups.
Right.
But we're together because we enjoy each other.
Right.
And so when things go wrong, as they will in marriages, when the money is funny, when the kid's acting stupid. Oh, I said stupid. That's not a very nice word. When the kids are acting silly, that might not be any nicer. But when stuff is just, like, messed up.
Right.
Like, you need to, like, I vibe with this person.
Right.
I like this person. I have things in common. You have, like, that foundation. And so I think friendship is the foundation for which that you have in a human sense. Now, obviously, a spiritual sense, you have that love that comes through the covenant of marriage. But, from a human standpoint, you have that friendship that you can go back to that, and that's your foundation.
Yeah.
To remember the things that you enjoy about that person.
Yeah.
Whenever we counsel couples, like, one of the things we always ask them is, Phillip, tell me why you married Carrie.
Yeah.
Tell me what you love about her.
That's one of the big questions
that attracted you.
Right.
So we will ask these sorts of questions. And it goes back to that foundation of friendship.
Right.
Always goes back to that, because they're like, because back in 1994, when we would be on the phone late at night, on the cordless, and it would start beeping because it was about to go out. Oh, man. And we would have to say goodbye. You know, you hang up.
No, you hang up.
No, you hang up.
Okay, on the count of 3. We'll do it together.
I love you, infinity. I love you, infinity square. Yeah. I love you to infinity to the infinitieth power.
Right.
Beat that, you know.
Right.
So it always goes back to friendship.
Yeah, I think friendship is a critical component to the relationship, right? You said something I think is key, though, because there are going to be times where everything is acting up, everything is funny, everything is jacked up, and you still got to be able to, you know, if you don't got no money to go out nowhere, if you don't got nothing in the refrigerator, you literally got to be able to like each other. I ain't
sharing my peanut butter.
I mean, like, for real, it's like, well, here, you can have half a cracker. You know what I'm saying? I remember, you know, early in when we first moved to Georgia, you know, you remember when we went on that trip to Tampa.
Oh, Lord. This man had me pregnant with no money.
Listen.
In Lakeland. Yeah. That's in Lakeland, not Tampa.
My gosh. We literally, man, we got on the plane.
We was praying for manna to fall from heaven, or at least I was, because I was a hangry pregnant lady.
Yes. But
the Lord says
the cool thing, though, was
told my husband,
because we liked each other, though. You know what I'm saying? We had a blast. I mean, literally, we went, and this is the funny thing, y'all. We went to pass out food at the little homeless shelter, but we were like,
in the projects.
Right.
Yeah, we went on the pink
truck.
Pink trucks.
Yep.
Out into the projects, and then you know, we ministered to the children out there and fed them and whatnot. And then after service at the church, Without Walls is where we were, and they welcomed us in with open arms. We just wanted to see experience the pink pink truck.
Pink truck.
And how they bust the children and the families in. It was really, really awesome. So shout out to Without Walls, because they really loved on us. They didn't know us.
Yep.
But then after service, they had a homeless dinner for people who were homeless or were struggling. Boy,
listen,
we couldn't eat.
Listen. That right there, I was like, thank you, Jesus, because you come through in the clutch. But again, we were able to look at each other and laugh and smile and have a good time, even though, you know, there were some things that we were missing.
Oh, yeah, because when we got to Atlanta. Boy, we sure to get on that phone.
Hey, this is when you had to get on the phone and
we
check
flew,
your account.
We were going like we was luxurious, y'all. Because where he worked, he had some, you know, them flight points, them Delta points. Yeah. So we flew in like we was somebody. We got a really nice rent-a-car like we was somebody.
Come on.
And we was eating them stale donuts at the Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
And when we got to the airport in Atlanta, we sure did get on that phone.
And call
the bank, and sure enough, the money had hit.
Listen, we was like, we were so happy.
It was like they were playing that organ at church.
Yeah, we were so happy that
we hit that drive-through at McDonald's like we were eating steaks.
I'm telling you,
I was starving.
So
we liked each other because I followed you there.
Right. But again, the friendship is critical. You know, we meet so many couples who, especially as the children get older and the children are leaving for college and whatnot, they are looking at each other and they're like, who are you?
They don't
because they haven't worked to build that friendship over time. Right? So literally, they don't know each other.
Well, I think what happens is once we get married, some people have this idea about, you know, when you start raising children and all these sorts of things and finances involved, well, now it becomes a business. And so they're looking at this person like a business partner as opposed to like, this is still my friend. This is my spouse.
Right.
You know, I love this person.
Right.
So you got to be really careful. Like, you know, there's some business to it. But don't lose sight, you know, and we're going to talk of a couple of other points that kind of feed into this of things that you can do to make sure you keep that, you know, keep the friendship alive, you know, so, yeah.
So it's critical to literally, you know, be friends with your spouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna say this to you right now. There's somebody right now watching. You don't want to look at your spouse right now because you're not sure. You're like, am I friends with them or not? I'm not sure.
You don't even want to be their friend on Facebook or social media.
That's real. That's real. That's real. But seriously, we want to challenge you. You know, do something to rekindle the friendship. Do something to rekindle the reason that you got with that person in the first place. I mean, there's a reason that you got with them. There was a reason that you're like, you know what, I really enjoy this person's company. Get back to those days. If back in the day you love movies, get back to a movie. Go enjoy it. If you like just going out and spending a day having a picnic, go do it. You know what I'm saying? Get back to those things. You know, it's almost like, you know, in the Bible speaks about, you know, getting back to your first love, right? Yes. Getting back to the thing that really made you excited, made you giddy.
Well, we talk about this, like, we don't put the effort in once we get them. Mm-hmm. So once we get them, we stop putting the effort in because they're already ours. And so we're not worried about, like, keeping them. And then we get this business mentality about marriage, and we forget that we're friends. Mm-hmm. And we forget that marriage is supposed to be fun, that it's supposed to be beneficial. Yeah. You know, that it's supposed to be substantive. It's supposed to be nourishing to us. Yeah. So we forget about all those things. Mm-hmm. Like, God didn't create marriage so that we could sit there, you know, at a meal together and both be like, you know, having
you want to enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, having, you know, emotional affairs with people on your social media that you're spending more time with a friend than you are with your spouse, and then you wonder why there's trust issues on both sides. Well, I wonder.
And that's super real. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm talking about it. You brought it in here, and so I'm going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it, baby. Go ahead and talk about it since they brought it up in this thing. Go ahead. But seriously, you know, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You shouldn't be giving all the nuggets to the people or the person that ain't your spouse. You know what I'm saying?
Or just people in general. Like, you give more to be friendly to folks at work because you don't want to lose your job than you do making an investment in your spouse that you're supposed to be with for all eternity. Yep. What? You know, our priorities are just jacked up. Yeah. So I would love to hear, because listen, y'all are the experts. Y'all are the experts out there. So I'd love to hear some of y'all put in the comments section, like, what do you do to keep the friendship alive with your spouse? You know, let us know. Craig Newburn says he keep all the nuggets. He keeping the nuggets. Chicken nuggets.
Craig, you cannot keep all the nuggets, brother. You can't keep all the nuggets.
He can have all the nuggets. That's his wife. She can have all his nuggets.
Okay. But he can't share them nuggets with the people at the courthouse in there.
No, he keeping them, not sharing them.
Okay. Craig.
No, he keeping the nuggets.
That's my guy.
Taking them nuggets home. Take them nuggets home.
That's what it is. That's what it is. I love it. I love it. Awesome. I love it. So number one, right? We got to make sure that we stay friends, right, and be amazing friends. Here's the second thing we want to share with y'all. You can't change nobody.
You can't change nobody.
You cannot change people. Listen.
Stop it.
If you want to be together for a long time, please don't try to change that man. Please don't try to change that woman. Like, they were who they were when you met them, so do not try to change them, right? They were who they were when you married them, so please do not try to change them. The only person who can change somebody is...
You can change you.
Come on, somebody.
Yeah.
So please don't try to do something that you cannot do, because literally, if you're going out there and you're trying to change your spouse, that's going to become problematic because your spouse going to wind up, you know, bucking the system because, you know, and that's real.
I mean, you fell in love with all the things about them, you know, period. So don't try to change the person that they are. Try to change who you are.
Try to change the person you are.
You know, and be the change you want to see. Like, if there are certain behaviors, like, going on in the marriage or in the relationship, like, you know, communicate, talk about it, you know, work together to change rather than just exerting your idea of what change needs to happen and your expectations on to somebody else. I mean, you know, what's the little song? I clean up what I messed up and start all over again. The only thing that you can clean up the mess on is your own self.
True indeed.
You're the one messing on yourself. And you mess on yourself when you try to change other people. So, you know, stop it.
Yeah.
You know, just stop trying to change others and embrace all of who they are, because your personality, we do personality profiling with people using the DISC assessment, Myers-Briggs. It's not wrong. It's who you are. You know, and we are different, and we need to understand ourselves before we sit here and point fingers at other people.
Right.
We need to fully understand ourselves. And what we find is when we help individuals and or couples to understand who they are and how they show up, that they really have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
They really don't. And so we're sitting here thinking that, you know, our spouse is doing things intentionally to get on our nerves, this, that, and the third. Why does he do that? I've told him a million times. Why does she say that? I've asked her not to. Well, it's their personality.
Right.
It's not. Don't take it personal.
Right. It's not personal. No. At the end of the day, it's who they are. Yeah. So instead of trying to take it personal and be mad about it all the time, let's figure out how we can work with it and how we can match our personality with their personality so that there is no conflict or issue. Now, I'll go back to one of the things that you spoke about a second ago, especially with the DISC assessment, understanding your spouse and how they are wired and put together. That right there is such a critical
game changer.
Right. I don't have to change you if I can understand you.
Right.
Right. Because if we really stop and think about it, the reason that many times that people want to change the other person isn't really because they want to change them. It's because they don't understand how they operate. And let me say this, because I don't know, y'all brought it in here, so I'm gonna say it. Quit trying to make another you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like
you want to be married to you?
No,
it's
I
so
don't.
boring.
No,
he's like,
no, I really don't.
Married to myself.
I really don't.
I couldn't.
But seriously, quit trying to make that other individual you. Because when we're trying to change them, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get them to lean to our preferences. And at the end of the day, that's not bringing any kind of variety, and that's not helping the relationship at all.
Yeah, and a lot of times it boils down to the simple fact that you didn't do the work before you got married. That you should have done, and now you got to do it now. So you didn't have the tough conversations. You didn't communicate about the things you wanted,
right,
that you didn't want in marriage, and so now you're trying to change this other person when perhaps you could have worked on those places where maybe there was some incompatibility, you know, but Jesus,
right,
you know,
right.
he works it out.
He does.
Right? If you put the work in it, you know, but that's up to you.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's up to you.
Well, I think it's critically important, especially in any relationship, that you work in the relationship.
It's
right?
Work.
You have to be willing to put work into the relationship, and putting in work is not putting in work to change someone. Putting in work is putting in work to make sure that we can be the best together thing that we are. Right?
Well, why don't you just start with trying to be the best you?
Yeah.
Like seriously, like. You know, just show up and be your best.
Right. Well, in a lot of times people think marriage is 50-50, right? Listen, marriage is not 50-50. Marriage is 100 and 100. Watch this, but divorce is 50-50. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes, unless you got a prenup.
There it is, right?
Unless you're Dr. Dre and you just like, look, just take it.
Yeah, just take this 150 million, leave me alone. But anyways, when we speak about marriage and being in those covenant relationships, it's 100 and 100. I'm giving all of me, you are giving all of you, and we are working in and through that. And the great news is that when she can give 100% of herself, I can give 100% of myself. What we can do, we can come and fulfill the purpose that we have been called together collectively to fulfill.
And let's just face it, like we're human beings, we're not always going to be 100. So that's why there's the 3-strand cord. That's why, you know, here we don't pull any punches. We believe that faith is a critical component and part of every relationship. So Jesus makes up the slack. When you can't give 100, you know, and your spouse is giving what they can, Jesus comes in and he fills all the gaps between you. So in that commonality of your faith and your reliance on Jesus as your Lord and Savior, he steps in to help you.
I love that.
To bridge the gap between the two of you. And when you know your spouse is not at his or her best, you always, and we've talked about this a million times, we believe that you lend your strengths to cover their weaknesses. You always cover your spouse. Like, you know, one of the things that I always try to do, I don't speak, I might be upset with my husband, but I don't put my mouth on him in front of people. I don't disrespect him. If we're having any kind of issues, we handle it between each other,
right?
At an appropriate time and all of that, so give respect, be loyal, be committed in that sense, because it's not going to do you any good.
And again, I love what you said. I just want to reiterate it. You have to cover your spouse. Like for real, cover your spouse. And that means in every which way. So as Carrie was saying, even if we got something going on, everybody else don't need to know that we going on. You don't need to call mama and them and daddy and them and your brother and them and your sister and them and tell your best friend them everything that's going on, because here's the thing. They're not in the relationship. So when things start going good, they didn't forget everything that you said.
And they're for you anyway. So it's like it's a fixed fight.
Yeah.
They're just your rah-rah.
Yep.
That's all it is. They the folks on the porch that cheer you on when you out there in the street fighting and the police pull up and you go to jail. And hopefully they post your bond. So that's what those folks are. So don't get caught up in that rah-rah, but cover your spouse. And even to this extent, listen, you may see something that's going on. Go to God first.
Yeah.
Like ladies, you may think this is a common thing. Like maybe your husband has an issue with pornography that he hasn't shared with you. And maybe that hurts you in a very deep place. Like when you find that out, like you take it personal. Don't take it personal, because the enemy wants you to take it personal so you won't pray for him.
Right.
Maybe it's a gambling problem. Maybe you find out that, there's an emotional affair. Take it to God first. Take it, get on your knees first.
Right.
So that you could take the personal out of it and allow the spiritual to begin to take over. Because I promise you, you will see a lot of those things just begin to change with the power of prayer. I mean, I go back and look at the beginning of our relationship, and there were things that I was just like, I could see things in my husband, and I was like, Lord, help him, because I was like growing spiritually, and I just wanted him to be able to be walking alongside of me. But I was further along. There were some things and some ways of the world like he didn't want to let go of.
Yeah, she was growing spiritually. I was growing in Hennessy and Black and Miles.
It's
just being real.
So he said it. I'm covering him. He uncovered himself.
Look, that's just being real.
He pulled the covers all the way back.
That's just being real. But I say that because there are people right now who are having challenges.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That they got things that they think that they're the only one. They're the only one. But I promise you this, because my wife went to prayer first, into the prayer closet first, and was not beating me up over the head, telling me, what I should be doing and why I should be doing this. And, like literally, she didn't come to me to try to change me. She went to the prayer closet, and when she got to the prayer closet, she began speaking to the Lord, and it was the Lord who was able to minister to me, and he brought the change,
and
right?
That's change. When the Lord brings a change, it's sustained change.
Yes.
He had some nice feet in that season, because that oil sure was slap up in his shoes. I didn't even know what I was doing. So look, if you don't I don't even know how to pray, just pray. Like whatever you got to say it to the Lord. And the last thing that I want to say, what we're not saying is that you keep your issues a secret.
Right. Okay.
We're saying in the right time, you need to go to the right people, and you need to have godly counsel.
Yes.
Everybody needs counseling at some point in time. There's no shame in that game at all. That's wisdom there.
And it's healthy.
It's very healthy.
Yes.
Whether it be, it doesn't have to be someone certified. It doesn't have to be someone like us. It could be maybe friends that you have that you admire their marriage. I guarantee if you dig, there's dirt, but they probably will share it with you.
Right.
So seek that. Don't keep it. Secrets will eat up a marriage.
Yeah,
a lot of times we just sweep things under the rug until we end up waking up one morning and tripping over it.
Yeah.
And Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, and all the king's horses, all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.
That's real.
What you got next?
That's real.
Number 3.
Number 3 is this. Number 3 is this. You got to learn to communicate, right? Communication is the key and cornerstone that every relationship is going to be built on, right? And here's the thing. if you can effectively communicate in your relationship will succeed. Watch this. I guarantee if you cannot effectively communicate with your spouse, partner, your relationship, it is going to fall apart, because communication is literally the foundation and bedrock on which that relationship and everything else is going to be built. So you have to learn how to communicate to your spouse. What is their love language? How do they best receive from you? What are things that, you should say and maybe you should think about not saying, right? How are they going to literally receive from you? Because if we're not getting into the I don't know, the ins and outs of really understanding that, it all it does is it's going to cause problems. So we have to learn how to communicate. And I'm going to say this, one of the best ways to learn and understand how to communicate with your spouse, watch this, is to ask them.
Yeah, ask the question.
Ask the question.
And I would say second to that, because there's more said in what's not said than what's actually said. Now, that's a riddle, but they that have ears, let them hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. No, more is said in what's not said than what's said. So more communication happens in just listening.
Right.
I think sometimes we don't slow down. Life is busy.
Yeah.
Well, I think we busy ourselves up with a lot of trivial things. Yeah. We could really have more time, but that's a different show. But you need to listen. Like, body language is talking to you. If you're feeling some kind of way, and I've said this before, like, be in tune to how you're feeling, and maybe you don't know why you're feeling that way. If you're feeling like a disconnect from your spouse or whatever, there's something going.
Right.
Like, be in tune to that, know, and then begin to just watch and observe and see what you see. And then after you gather that information, then go ask them.
Yeah.
Hey, I noticed this. What, you want to talk about?
Right.
What's going on? Or, instead of, the hollering, the fussing, the carrying on, the pointing fingers, the accusing, those sorts of things that we resort to many times.
And, it's interesting, especially when we think about communication. There are some people who want to have conversations immediately, right? They see something and immediately they want to deal with it. And I get it. They don't want things to fester. They don't want things to, to be able to grow, and I get that and understand that. You just have to be careful to make sure that your spouse is okay and ready to have those conversations, right?
Ask.
Because if they are not ready to have that conversation at that specific time, then that could wind up becoming detrimental, and there you both go.
Yeah, you need to agree to the parameters.
Right, and that's really where I was going. So sometimes you may need to take that 20-second time out. You need to say, listen, we're going to talk about this, but right now I'm not in the space to have this conversation. Let me, go for a walk. Let me go for a run. Let me go work out. Let me go for a drive. Let me get myself together so I can be in the right space so we can have this conversation. Because what you don't want to happen, you don't want to, we see this all the time, man. Couples, they're arguing because the mouse is not working. I just see the mouse right there, y'all. The mouse is not working. And then that leads to, you didn't wash the cup, which led to 3 years ago, you didn't get the right phone, which led to 10 years ago, you dropped the keyboard. I'm making all this stuff up right now, as y'all can see. But my point is, because you're not in the right space, it just goes and spirals out of control, right? So we got to get to the place where when we're communicating, we learn how to communicate, the best way to communicate, and also it's critical to understand from a time perspective, what's the best time to be able to communicate with your spouse or significant other.
Yeah, and the last thing that I just want to add to that, a lot of times we see our spouses perhaps making wrong decisions or things like that for maybe our household or whatever, and I would just say to that, yes, women are supposed to be submissive, but if you saw a man about to walk off a ledge or a woman, would you not say anything, or would you say, hey, there's a ledge over there? Some of us are gifted in certain areas, and there's a reason why God gave us these giftings, and they're to be lent specifically to the first relationship that God ordained you to have, and that's your marriage. And that marriage is then for ministry, and that's the next place that your giftings are for, so that they can go out into the world. But anyway, so, you know, you have to speak up, but you have to go through those three, you know, the three parameters there that you just outlined. But it needs to be respectful, you know, and at the end of the day, you all may have to agree to disagree, but you need to come to a level of agreement with whatever it is. You know, we're all going to differ in our opinions. So
I would definitely agree with that. But again, if you have never talked to your spouse about communication, again, we would challenge you to have that conversation and just simply ask them, listen, what is the best way that you receive communication, or what is the best way that you would like for me to communicate with you? Would you like immediate communication? Do you need space? Do you need some? But literally have a conversation and ask your spouse and have that conversation. I think that in and of itself, that will help tremendously. That'll help tremendously. So I want to jump into this one because this is one of my favorites right here.
Yeah, it's kind of what I alluded to.
Yeah.
From number one, if you're going to be a friend, you know how to have fun with each
You
other.
gotta have fun.
Yeah.
I think having fun, that's the thing that keep relationships fresh. It keeps relationships enjoyable. Laughter is good for the soul. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing to be able to smile. Like sometimes we just look at each other and we just start laughing about completely random stuff. You got to have fun.
He just laughs at me when he looks at me. I'm joking.
I don't just laugh at you when I look at you, but we do have fun. Let me ask this. For those of you watching, I want you to put this inside the comments box for me. Put this inside the comments box. What's the last fun thing that you and your spouse did? What's the last fun thing that you and your spouse did? Go ahead, put that inside of the comments box for us. We want to see, like, what kind of fun are y'all having? What are y'all doing to have fun and enjoy each other? Because at the end of the day, it comes down to being able to enjoy each other's company, being able to enjoy each other, being able to smile at each other, being able to laugh at each other. Listen, when you can do those kinds of things, I don't care what kind of craziness comes your way, you can stand rooted knowing, you know what, listen, this is my ride or die, and we gonna ride this thing out together because we gonna have fun. With 2 pennies to your name, you can have fun. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't have to cost anything at all. But just your intentionality. So it's important. I see Tim. The bishops like to watch TikTok together.
Yeah.
That's great.
And listen, TikTok's hilarious. I know me and Carrie, we be looking at.
I'm not even on TikTok. He roll over in the bed at night. This man.
I'd be like, look at this.
Babe,
look at this.
Look at this. You know.
Look at this. Yeah.
We just sit there and laugh.
But you got to be able to do that.
Yeah, you got to have that thing, or. One of the other things that I always tell people is, what does your spouse enjoy? You know, what do they like to do for fun? You should know them well enough to know what they enjoy to do for fun. And you should, like, intentionally engage in that with them. Like, if they like to dance, maybe you go out on a limb and you take a dance class together,
Yeah.
Or maybe you put on some dance videos from YouTube and try to learn some line dances. That don't cost anything.
Right.
So, try to enjoy what it is that they enjoy, even though you may not like it.
Right.
Like, it may not be
your thing.
Your cup of tea.
Right.
But, in knowing that, one of the experiences that we had is that Phillip knows that I'm a bit of a daredevil and I enjoy, like, risky things. And so he took me on the Ferris wheel in Atlanta. It's the biggest Ferris wheel, right?
Yeah.
And he's scared of heights, which I didn't really know to what extent.
I'm scared of heights, y'all.
Scared. Like white knuckle scared. But, he did that for me. And that is so meaningful. Even now, that was my 40th birthday. I still remember that many years ago. But I'm joking. But do those sorts of things because it lets the person know, like, man, even though she doesn't like that, like, she's doing this with me.
Right.
And when you recognize that, salute. Tell them, man,
it's a big
babe,
deal.
Thank you.
It's a big deal
for trying to enjoy what I enjoy.
Right.
And you may not, like, later on when I'm doing some burpees.
Yeah, she's trying to get me to do some burpees later on with her, but I'm actually contemplating because I've been thinking about this all day long. I asked her that. I said, babe, how many burpees are you gonna do? Because I was contemplating doing some burpees with my wife. Why? Well, my wife is on this burpee challenge. If y'all don't know, she's trying to do 2,000 burpees in a month. And y'all, like, she did 100 burpees nonstop. I can't do 100 burpees. I don't know if I can do 5 nonstop. But anyways, she is like the burpee queen. She's enjoying it. She's raising some money for, what is it?
Stop Soldier Suicide.
Stop Soldier Suicide. So listen, y'all check out her page. Make sure y'all contribute, man. Contribute to the cause. For real. That's
Thank you.
Shameless plug. Contribute to the cause.
That right there, just him doing something with intentionality. That's not necessarily having fun, but that's being intentional.
Look, she asked her earlier. I said, "How many burpees you plan on doing today?" You said, "How many?"
At least 100.
And I said, "Nah, I can't do 100. No, that's not." But then she came back to me. She says, "Well," she said, "I typically only record the first 25." And I was like,
because nobody want to watch nobody do 100 burpees,
right? So in my mind though,
I'm like, anyway.
I might be able to do 25. Now, I might not be able to walk tomorrow, but I'm like, you know what? I'm willing to try because I know it's something that she enjoys. Y'all follow what I'm saying? So it's something that she finds enjoyable. It's something that we can do together that's fun. It's something that worst case scenario, she gonna get a good laugh out of me, huffing and puffing.
So is everybody else on my page and the 2,000 burpee challenge page. And my story. The whole world.
Yeah.
We might go viral.
Hey, we might go viral at seeing all this doing some burpees.
It'll be in time lapse, so they won't. It might look crazy. They won't have a clue what's going on. You can't even tell what a burpee look like on a time lapse.
So again, it's about having fun, though. You know what I'm saying?
Fall down, get up. Fall down, get up.
We fall down 7, get up 8. You know what I'm saying? But it's about literally being able to find those things that you can have fun with. So again, if you and your spouse, you and your significant other are doing things to have fun, then put it in the chats. We want to know what kind of things that you all are doing.
You might give us some ideas
to have fun. Absolutely. Now listen. Don't be like, well, watching Phillip do 100 burpees, because that ain't happening. That's a negative.
Just wait for the video.
The last thing we're gonna pull up. The last thing we're gonna pull up, and it's very simple. It's very simple. You won't always feel it. All right. Listen, you need to know that in relationships, right, in marriage, you're not always gonna feel lovey-dovey. It ain't if you're going into this
feelings believing.
This is what I deal with, right? But if you are literally going into a relationship or are in a relationship and you think that you're always going to feel it, you're always going to feel in love, look, you got another thing coming. It's not about feeling in love. It's about working through the process, and the work is the love.
Yeah, because love is not a feeling.
Love is not a feeling.
It is an action.
That's right.
It is absolutely 100% an action. And that action is lending your strengths to cover another's weakness.
Period.
And just choosing. You get up every day and you choose. You choose that person every single day.
And literally, this is one of the things that we tell couples that we counsel all the time. You have to get up every morning and look at your spouse, whether you love them or whether you're not feeling it right now, and you have to say, you know what, I choose you. I choose you this day. I'm choosing you this day.
True story. He looked at me the other day. He was like, whoa, your hair is wild. Never in our nearly 30 years of being together has this man been like, whoa, your hair looks wild. I said, well, it's cold in the bedroom, and I did sleep with a hoodie on, and my hair does have some natural wave to it. So, yes.
Wild. It was a little wild. It was a little wild. I didn't mean it like that, though. I didn't mean it
was
like
funny,
that.
y'all.
I didn't mean it like that. You know
but
what I'm
he
saying?
chose. He chose me wild hair.
Wild hair and all.
Morning breath, the whole kit
all
caboodle.
Of it.
All of it. He chose that. So, yeah.
So again, we have to understand that marriage is not a feeling. Marriage is a choice, right? And it's a choice that you get to choose every single day.
Yeah.
So right now, listen, I'm talking to you right now, husband. I'm talking to you, wife. I'm talking to you in the relationship, and in your mind, you're like, I'm just not feeling this. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. And you're trying to, find something that's going to help you feel it, or you're trying to like talk to somebody who you think's gonna spice things up. That's not the answer right there.
Because literally, scientifically, you may have chemistry with lots of different people on the earth. That is not called love. It is called lust.
Talk about it.
And guess what happens? It goes away. We get desensitized.
Yes.
It's a natural thing that just happens.
Yes.
So please, y'all, the grass is not greener on the other side. It's just a green light shining on some brown grass.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. So look, if you're not feeling it, I know you might be asking the question, you know what, for real, I'm really not feeling it. What can I do to make sure that, I feel it again? I want that old thing back. I want to spice the relationship up. Let us give you a couple things. The first thing that you can do if you're feeling that way is
be an amazing friend.
That's it. You got to get back to friends. You got to get back to being friends.
The second thing that you can do is
you got to understand that you cannot change people, and you cannot change your spouse.
You got to change you.
That's it. The third thing, you got to learn to communicate, because I promise you the issue is a communication issue. Listen, you'll be successful in your marriage and relationship, or you will fail based upon how you can communicate effectively.
And the fourth thing is you just need to have some fun, let loose a little bit. Remember why you fell in love with each other, and just enjoy your spouse.
And if you can do those four things, I promise you,
you'll start
feeling it. You'll start feeling it. You'll start feeling it again. You're going to be happy. You're going to be smiling. You're going to be like, oh, man. I see. You're going to take it back old school, right?
We didn't start the fire.
Uh-oh. Who sang it?
We didn't light it, but we tried. I'm done with you.
Who was it? Bruce
so, next time on Edge Life 7 podcast, we will not do music trivia.
Hey, we might need to do music trivia, but I don't know that one.
No.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na, Red something, Johnny Ray, North Korea, South Korea.
Okay, let's end the show.
Joe DiMaggio. Something like that, right? Somebody knows the lyrics. Somebody knows the lyrics. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But listen, seriously, we really enjoyed y'all tonight, man. We hope that you enjoyed yourselves tonight. We told you literally there are 5 things that you can do to make sure that, y'all are killing it inside your relationship. Be amazing friends. We talked about that. We talked about making sure that you know and understand that you cannot change people. You got to learn to communicate. You got to learn to have fun.
And like we told you at the very beginning, if you don't know, now you know. Baby.
We'll holla at y'all, man.
Peace.
Edge life, you're too close to the edge. We gon' push you forward a few steps ahead. It's that edge life.